Hello everyone, welcome to IndieVoice, here with another indie game review, a long-awaited one, which I think I put off for long enough after dealing with a lot of IRL stuff. But anyway, to the point, today's game we're going to be looking at today is called Legend of the Keepers. Now let me get into my voice here, if I can pull it off. Welcome to the Dungeon Company, where you get to lead up the corporate ladder to see if you can build the most amazing dungeon, and hopefully you can end these stupid warriors that keep trying to invade our cave and steal our treasures. Sorry, that's kind of hard to keep up. So this game is a really fun game, especially when it comes to the creatures and characters. You as the player will be running a dungeon, obviously, and you'll be keeping up the legend of having monsters, creatures to take upon these heroes that keep coming into your dungeon to try to take over your treasure. But the thing is though, with this game, you are the manager. You have a master that you lead to, that you help and keeps leveling you up and giving you new monsters and creatures to use to kill these dastardly heroes. And a whole bunch of other things that you'll be experiencing along the way. It's kind of like a tower defense roguelike, but with more, I need to figure out how to make a monster so powerful that no hero can ever take him down. And that's the fun part of this game, is that there are so many versions of heroes and monsters that you can use. Sorry, not heroes, more like dead skeleton people that probably were heroes before but now are manage your employees and your stock of traps, deal employee strikes, and other fun events. So far throughout my playthrough of this game, it's been really fun. I didn't really expect the tower defense to be really fun. I'm not normally a fan of tower defense. Well, actually wait, that's a bit of a lie. I have been playing a bit of tower defense games on the mobile device. I'll recommend those later. But it is a really fun way to experience two genres that are completely somewhat different from each other and fuse them together to make a dungeon company that you're running and making all these monsters, being the bad guy on the side of the whole thing, instead of being the random hero that's possibly overpowered and has this legendary weapon. But anyway, dealing with this game is a lot of time, a lot of effort putting into this. This game was pretty much inspired by Heroes Quest, a board game, followed by several other games: Monty Python, The Darkest Dungeon, Slay the Spire, Dungeon Keeper, Final Fantasy, Divinity, Chroma Squad, Battle Brothers, and West of Loathing, and many more other games that this was completely inspired by. Now, the pros and cons for this game. The pros I can tell you is that there's a lot of fun, versatile things you can do in this game by being the bad guy of this, hiring interesting creatures, having a very fun way of having a job that you wish that was real, but something of just being the ultimate thing at the end of the game and just ruining all these so-called heroes that are trying to rob your riches. While the rest of this is more of figure out how to do this and that. It's really fun. There's no boring moments. Everything's different with each run. So it's not a constant repetitive thing. There's always different heroes, different monsters to be used, different traps that can help you along the way. A lot of other fun things in this game. Now the cons. The cons are, there really isn't many down things I could say about this besides the fact that it felt unfinished when people bought it the first time along with the DLC. So it was something of not that much value to it, but then after a while the developers did update it and created a lot of things for it. So I can't really say it's much of a negative. It's more of like, if you don't like the very simplistic mechanics, then you may or may not like it. But all in all, that's not enough to say that this game is bad. So the verdict I give for Legend of the Keepers, I give it a score of a must buy. This is a really fun game. It's really interesting in using roguelike and defender type mechanics to it. Sure, it may be very simplistic, but all in all, the creative creatures and the styles and how the story goes along with you creating this thing and being an employee, it just recovers everything all together to say this is a really interesting and unique game that I'd recommend to those that are looking for something different to play instead of the usual shoot 'em up, first person, all this type of stuff. But thank you for listening and liking this video. Share amongst friends, those that may be interested, or ones that are looking for new indie games to play. Thank you, and see you in the next video.